Rolling. Action.
This film was shot and edited. Well, this film was shot in 3 days by an amazing crew, but I want to ask how long it took you to edit the film.
Yeah, so it definitely was shot in two days, right? 2 days. We shot it in 2 days, and editing it took me probably like a month and a half, probably. It could have been sooner than that, but I just really wanted to perfect what I directed and what I wrote. Like, directing is one thing, writing is one thing, but when you get to that computer and you got to put it together, that's a whole different ballpark. So I usually take my time when I edit. I really brainstorm super duper crazy when I edit. So it took me about a month and a half.
How much did the story change in the edit versus when you were directed?
Surprisingly, bro, it was smooth. It was exactly what we wrote. It was exactly what we directed. I was actually surprised about that. That made the edit super easy to edit. Yeah, bro, it was exactly what I thought it was going to be, and I'm proud of that, to be honest, because I know sometimes you think you can have an angle of what you're going for, and then you get to the editing table, and then it's something completely different. So, for it to be smooth like that made my process a lot smoother.
Now, with Super Parent, you were trying to tell a very concise story. It all started off of the photo that you shared, and trying to convey that story through the medium of video. I want to know what your focus was when you were directing, and then what your focus was when you were editing.
Okay, so my focus when I was directing was really just to get our actors to really embody their characters. Like I said before, when you write the script, you have so much ideas in your brain, but when you actually get to the set, it's like, all right, now it's coming to life, and you gotta pour into your actors as a director what you're actually looking for. So when it came to editing it, I think that the actors did an amazing job. They made my job way easy. Space, for sure, she was super duper easy to work with. She actually brought her own ideas to most of the direction that we was trying to go with. She was easy to direct as well. So once we got to the editing process, I was actually shocked about some of the footage that we had, because like, damn, Face, you went crazy. Like, I don't know if you acted before the Super Parent, but I couldn't tell because she made it super easy for me. So the editing process I was very, very excited to edit what I seen from the footage that I had from directing it. And it all tied in together, man. Shout out Face too.
How do you focus in on no longer the people who are in front of you and the people who will now see this?
Right. I think my focus on editing was to tell and put together a story that made sense as far as the sound, because the soundtrack was everything for this film. So once we got to the editing process, the sound was super duper important. I feel like when I'm editing, you literally start from a blank canvas, as if you were an artist, like a painter. Start from a blank canvas. We have a story, we have what we're gonna go with. Then you have to, as an artist, you have to detail. And I detailed the film as far as editing, as far as the sound goes, as far as the sound effects goes, the sound is, everything goes, bro. Like, I feel like back to the music part, this is called Super Parent. So when you hear Super Parent, you thinking of like a superhero. So we didn't put typical superhero music in this project, but what we did was we put Mary J. Blige's My Life in it, which made it our superhero music because of where we're from, the type of story that we're telling. When you see a black woman cleaning up in the house, or you see a black woman running errands, where I'm from, Mary J. Blige's My Life was the soundtrack of my life. So that is superhero music. So when you go back to the editing process of that, it's like you got to really bring to life what you were trying to display to the audience, so they can really get what we trying to show.
Now, to touch back on the cast, how did you go about selecting the people who play these roles? Like, the main roles being the mother, the father, and then the child, but the mom role is very important. So how did you go about selecting the cast?
So to be honest, I always had Face in mind. I didn't know Face at all. I went on Instagram, I went on Twitter, and I said, shooting a short film in Chicago soon. Is anybody interested? Face responded. I don't even think we was following each other at the time. Either. Like, this shit is crazy, to be honest. But she responded, and I was super happy because we wanted to show young parents. Because I'm a young parent, and young parents, I wanted to basically show that we can grab the baton from our generation of people who raised us and carry it at like how they did. It's our turn now. We the new adults. So we really wanted to portray and show a young family, a young Black healthy family. And even with the son, I personally know Austin. That's his name. Cool, nonchalant kid. I felt like I wanted the character for the son to be a nonchalant young boy who didn't necessarily know what his mom was doing. Like, he just living in his own world. He's an artist himself, and he has an interest in shoes, but he doesn't know what his mom had to go through. And I felt like casting Austin for that role was perfect because that's him. You know what I mean? So we had that in mind when he casted people. And also Isaiah, he did an amazing job too. I know that Isaiah would do really good in it because I seen him, he's a rapper, he's an artist. You know what I mean? So I know that he wouldn't be necessarily shy away being on camera. And I felt like Faze, Isaiah, and Austin, they look like the perfect family. If we being real, the perfect young family. So that's what I had in mind when I was casting, though.
What did you learn overall through this process? From casting, writing, directing, editing, you wore many hats for this process. So what did you learn over the course of this?
I learned so much. I learned how to be a better director. I learned how to be a better writer. Once we got to the editing process, I was thinking like, damn, I could have did this better, or I could have did this better. So I feel like me putting my reps in with continuing to be on sets and continuing to direct and continuing to write and edit, it's only gonna get better and better and better. But this was the very first one. So this is like my first child. Even if it was like not perfect, I'm still perfect to me because of everything I had to learn through this process. Being a writer and a director isn't my strong point at all. I was in there about what people shooting, bro. I'll have to get my energy together because I'm directed. I can't be the one that usually play the back all the time. I'm one of those guys. I'm a play the back type of guy. So as me being a director, I'm basically having to get everybody, you know what I'm saying, together. That was a learning period, a real learning period for me. So I feel like I said, just continue to put these reps up. I'm gonna get better as a director and a writer. That's what I learned, to be honest. Just the patience of continuing to grow.
Final question. Do you think you conveyed the message that you set out to convey, or do you think it changed in the process?
I absolutely think we got the message out that we was trying to get out. Absolutely. I absolutely think we did. And I can't wait for everybody to see it. Like, everybody that I've shown so far, they get it. You know what I mean? This is a young Black person story in Chicago, sneakerhead. Like, you going to get this when you see it. And it was simple, but at the same time, it was complicated. But at the same time, like I said, it's simple. Like, anybody that's watching this could be able to see what a mom has to go through to satisfy her son and her kid to be a super parent. So yeah, I definitely think we got the message across for sure.